So this question asks us to find the highest common factor, the lowest common multiple, and to express 936 as a product of its prime numbers in index form. So let's start with the highest common factor. Well, before we can find the highest common factor, we actually need to just find factors. So let's remember that factors are whole numbers that go into the number we're looking at. So let's start with the factors of 90. Remember, factors always come in pairs. So my first two are 1 and 90. It's even, so I know that 2 will go into it, and 2 goes into it 45 times. 3 goes into 9, so of course it does go into 90, and it goes into 90 30 times. 4 doesn't, 5 does, and 5 goes in 18 times. Does 6? Yes, 6 does, because 6 goes into 60 10 times, and 6 goes into 35 times, so 6 goes into it 15 times. And of course 7 doesn't, 8 doesn't, but 9 does, 9 and 10. Now we know we got all the factors because there's no other whole numbers between 9 and 10. So let's look at the factors of 105. Well, 1 and 105. 2 doesn't. 3 does, because 3 goes into 90 and it also goes into 15. So it'll go into 105 35 times. 4, well no, again it's not even. 5, yes, 5 goes into it 21 times. 6 doesn't, 7 doesn't, 8 doesn't, 9 doesn't, 10 doesn't. So we found all the factors apart from 15, which goes in 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105, which goes in 7 times, so 7 and 15. Now we've got all the factors of 90 and all the factors of 105, we need to look for the highest common factor. Now the clue is in the question, the highest. So we're looking for the largest number in both 90 and 105. So if I look through them, I can see that 15 is in both of them. And there are no other numbers larger than 15 which appear in both 90 and 105, meaning that my highest common factor is 15. Now looking at the lowest common multiple, well, lowest common multiple is just the times tables. It's the smallest number that appears in both times tables. So let's look at 90. We'll start with 90, and it's very similar to our 9 times table, so it's 90, 180, 270, 360, 450, 540, 630. So I always say, go for at least 5 to 10 multiples just to make sure you don't have to keep going back and forth. So now let's look at 105. Well, we got 105, 210, 315, 420, 525, 630, and there you have it. Our lowest common multiple, the lowest number in both of those times tables, is 630. So lowest common multiple equals 630. And finally, express 936 as a product of prime numbers in index form, and we'll need a bit more space for this. So let's first of all recap our prime numbers, and remember that a prime number is just a number that's only divisible by 1 and itself. So that means our first 5 prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7 and 11. And we're going to try and we are going to split 936 into its prime numbers. So we'll start with 936 at the top of our tree, because we use our prime factor tree. And I know that 2 goes into it because it's even. And that goes in, if I'm right, 450 and 18, 468 times. And 2 goes into that, because again it's even. And it goes into that 234 times. 2 then goes into that, and it goes in 117 times. And now this isn't even, so let's try 3. Well, 3 goes into this, and it goes in 39 times. And of course 3 goes into 39, and it goes in 13 times, and of course 13 is a prime number. Now that I've shown 936 in its prime numbers, I show it's a product of that, so 936 equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 13, which of course we can show in index form as 2 to the power of 3 times 3 squared times 13.